Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be going over all of my sales for the month of August on Poshmark that sold in under a week. So basically this video, I'm just going to go through my sales for the month and show you guys what sold super fast for me. So hopefully this will help you guys in the future when you're sourcing for your Poshmark closet to look for things that are going to sell quickly and things that are trending on Poshmark right now. So if that sounds interesting, then just keep watching. Okay, so before we hop into the video, I am super excited to share a really cool sponsorship with you guys, and this video is sponsored by No Issue. I've been looking forward to filming this video for a while and sharing this product with you guys because I know we've all been looking for ways to cut down on our plastic usage in our packaging. So this video is sponsored by No Issue. It is a company that makes a lot of really cool sustainable packaging that you can customize, but they also make these really cool compostable poly mailers. So this is actually made out of corn and breaks down faster than an orange peel. And every month we're sending out about 100 million plastic poly mailers that are being opened and going straight into the trash. So even though these are a little bit more expensive than your traditional plastic poly mailer, I think they are totally worth the price point, and I was just super excited to share this product with you guys. So thank you so much to No Issue for sponsoring this video, and definitely go check them out. I'm going to link them down in the bio in my description below, and also I did do a giveaway over on my Instagram, so be sure to go follow them and look at all the cool products that they make because I'm really excited about this one. So thank you so much again to No Issue for sponsoring this video. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share everything that sold this month in under a week. So basically these are all the items that I listed and sold in less than 7 days on Poshmark. So this is basically a good indication of anything that's trending on the app and something that somebody obviously wanted to buy super quickly, and things don't normally sell this fast. So I feel like it's good to document the things that are selling quickly, so hopefully this can help you guys when you're outsourcing. So I'm basically going to start from today and work back to the first. So the first thing that sold is a New Tags House of Harlow Dharma dress, and this is a revolve dress. So this is basically a yellow floral dress, and it had a really cute ruffle detailing to the straps, and this one sold on best offer for $50, which is a little bit lower than what I was actually intending to take for this, but I think that that's still a good price and it was still a good margin for me. So after fees, I was left with $40 because Poshmark fees are 20%. Okay, so the next item that sold is an Anthropologie Ava Franco dress, and I will be putting this up on the screen. Obviously, you guys have already seen a picture, but I am going to be putting all of the pictures up on the screen so you guys can see what the items look like. This is an Anthropologie Ava Franco dress, and this also sold on best offer for $50. Again, a little bit less than what I was expecting this to sell for because this was a brand new item, but I was still really happy with my margin, so I went ahead and accepted that offer, and this one sold again for $50. So after Poshmark fees, I was left with $40, and this sold in just under a week. Alright, so next up is an LPA top, and this is also a Revolve brand, and this was actually an extra small. I was considering not buying it because sometimes extra smalls are a little bit harder to move, or so I thought, but actually in the last few weeks I've been selling really small sizes for some reason, so I am going to continue to pick those up. And I also thought this might be a little bit harder to sell because it's kind of fancy, honestly. It has feathers across the top. It's really cute, but it's something you probably would dress up in. So I've been noticing a trend in casual styles selling better for me, but this actually sold in just 2 days. So this is an LPA top. It's like a crop top, and it had the feather embellishment across the top. And again, this one sold on best offer for $50, and it sold super quickly, which was surprising to me. But yes, a really good sale, and again, I was happy with my margin. I think I had this listed for $65, so she made me a very reasonable offer on that. The next item was a J. Crew factory dress, and this actually sold in a bundle with a top that I've had for quite a while. It sold in a bundle with a Maeve top from Anthropologie, but the J. Crew factory dress was listed for just 1 day. And this was actually from summer of 2019, so this was a very recent piece, and I also put it on my Instagram stories, and it was a size 12. So normally if I find anything that's like a 10 or bigger, those tend to sell quickly for me. But they sold in a bundle, and after fees I was left with $32. So J. Crew Factory isn't going to sell for a ton, and I normally don't pick it up, but because this was a really recent season, it was a good size, it was a good print, and it was a size 12, I just went ahead and grabbed it because I felt like it was going to sell. So that one sold really quickly. And then the next item was a Lululemon skirt, and this actually didn't get a lot of interest. I don't even think it had any likes on it at all. It was listed for probably 3 days, and then someone came in, made an offer, and bought it. So Lululemon is one of those things that I feel like sells regardless of the style. Even if it's a little bit older style, I feel like people do wear Lululemon regardless. So this was a little bit of an older style. It's like a tennis skirt with the attached shorts underneath. I had it listed for 40 and she made me an offer of 25, which I felt like was fair, especially considering it hadn't gotten a lot of attention yet. So I went ahead and accepted that offer, and then after fees I was left with $20. Okay, so next up, this was pretty interesting as well. I listed a Draper James dress as well as a cabbie top. The cabbie top I got at Goodwill, and the Draper James dress was a retail arbitrage find. And I listed these both in the same day, and they both sold within 2 hours of listings. I listed them right back to back. The cabbie top was a size small, and then the dress was a size 8. The Draper James was new with tags, and the cabbie was pre-owned. These two items sold in a bundle with a halogen for Atlantic Pacific script that I've had probably for 2 months. So it was a bundle of 3 items, but 2 out of the 3 were brand new within a couple of hours of listing. So I was really happy with this. I did give her a pretty good discount. I think the total bundle price was like $195, and she ended up getting all 3 items for $125, which is a little bit lower than what I would normally accept, but because she was buying 3 items and I felt like my margin was good, I went ahead and accepted her offer on this, and I was super happy to see those 2 items move so quickly. Like, I didn't even have to put them into inventory, and I didn't have to look for them. They were still sitting on my rack. So grabbed those 2 items, grabbed the skirt that was listed for a couple of months, and my earnings after Poshmark fees was $100. The next item was a pair of Allbirds, and you guys know I absolutely love Allbirds. They're my favorite shoe to wear personally, but also I've sold probably over 100 pairs of them between my account, my men's Poshmark account, and then back when I sold on eBay. So I have sold a ton of Allbirds, but I actually found this pair at Goodwill, which was surprising because I was just surprised to see them donated already. But these sold in under a week for $40. I think I had them listed at 45 or 50, and she offered me 40, and then after Poshmark fees I was left with $32. Okay, and then the next item, this was another thing that I had posted on my Instagram, but I didn't give any specifics about it. It was just like a picture of the haul I was going to be listing that day. I actually got this at Goodwill new with tags. It was just a really lucky find, and this brand is called Maji. It's sold at places like Revolve. I think they also sell it at Shopbop and a few other places depending. But they do a lot of beachwear. I think this technically could have been a cover-up dress, but it's like a maxi dress. I think I had this one listed at $75, and she offered me $60, and I went ahead and accepted that. And she also gave me 5 stars and a really nice love note, and she sent me a message on Instagram saying thank you for the dress, which was always so nice. So this one sold in under a day, less than 24 hours, and it was a really reasonable offer. Also really cool to find this at Goodwill. I always love finding new tags items at the thrift store. Okay, next up was also a thrift find, and this was another really exciting find because anytime I find anything new with tags at Goodwill is always fun to find. This was actually a pair of new with tags Superga. They're like a mauve mesh sneaker, and they were really cute. I actually would have kept them if they were my size, but these were a size 9, and I believe these sold in about a day and a half, so I think not quite 2 days. I had them listed at $60, and she offered me $42, and I went ahead and accepted that because, again, I'm at the end of the day thinking about my margin and if I'm making a profit or not, and I do tend to accept offers as long as I'm making a very good profit on it. So she did give me 5 stars and a really nice love note talking about my new mailers that I talked about at the beginning of the video, so that was awesome. And again, these were really cute and new tags from Goodwill, so can't complain about that. The next item is a new tags Majorelle. It's like a one shoulder kind of bodysuit, so it snaps at the crotch and then it has like a kind of detailing to the shoulder, and this sold on best offer for $35, and then after the Poshmark fee I was left with $28. And this one also came with a love note talking about the eco-friendly poly mailer, so I think people are really liking people using eco-friendly packaging, so it was good to hear feedback on that. But yeah, this one sold, I think I had this listed for $50 and she offered me $35, and I accepted her offer, and that was actually a pretty good deal because this bodysuit retailed for over $100, so she got a really good deal on it, especially for new with tags. The next item is a pair of Fry Dillon leather slip-on sneakers, and I actually sent out an offer on these. I had them listed for $60, and I sent out an offer of $45 with discounted shipping, and she accepted. And this one also, after Poshmark fees, I think I gave a $1.50 shipping discount, so after Poshmark fees I was left with $34.20. And I always love sending out offers. I've been sending them out a lot more often because it's been helping my sales. So these were listed for about 4 or 5 days. Okay, next up is a Wild Fox peach print tank top, and I actually bought quite a bit of Wild Fox earlier this summer, and somehow this one just didn't get listed. I have no idea how, but I ended up listing it and it sold in about a day and a half for $27. I had it listed for $40. She offered me $27 and I accepted her offer. Wild Fox is a really good seller for me, especially if you can price it pretty inexpensively between like $25 and $50. They sell pretty well, and I am always super happy to find Wild Fox when I see it. Okay, next up, this was a very surprising sale to me just because I hardly ever pick up a size 23, just because in the past I figured it would be very hard to move. I usually pick up anything like a size 24 or bigger, but a size 23 is super small, so I just assumed that that would just be a harder sale for me. But this actually sold in about 3 days, and this is a girlfriend denim cutoff skirt. It was brand new, and she did give me 5 stars. I sold this a little bit cheaper than I normally would on Girlfriend just because it didn't have the tags attached, and also again, it was a really small size, so I think that the buyer pool for that particular item would be a little bit smaller. So after Poshmark fees, I was left with $48, and she did leave me a really nice love note, which is awesome. The next thing, this is a funny story. I know if you guys follow me on Instagram, you've probably heard me talk about these shoes. But there's a thrift store on the way to my stepson's school, and when I go pick him up, I always stop in there, and they've had this pair of Tory Burch Riva flats brand new for a year and a half, okay? I go in there every single week when I go to pick him up from school, and they've been there for a year and a half because they had them priced like so high. And this store is in the middle of nowhere, so I would go in every single week and wait for them to mark them down, and eventually they went to 50% off, which is still astronomically too expensive, and then eventually they marked them down cheap enough to where I could buy them. So a year and a half later, I was able to buy these, and they sold in about 2 days for $125. And these were brand new, and they were size 10, and they were really cute. They had like the gold hardware, and they were embossed leather. So these sold on best offer for $125, and after Poshmark fees, I was left with $100. So I'm excited that I was finally able to buy those. The next item is a pair of Sam Edelman Moon and Star loafers, and these were so cute. I honestly thought these would sell instantly just because I think they were a great style, but they sold in about 3 days for $40. I had them listed at about $60, and she offered me $40, and because of the condition, I went ahead and accepted that. They were pre-owned, and they had a little bit of wear on the bottom, so I felt like $40 was pretty fair, and after fees, I was left with $32. Okay, next up is a New Tags Free People Kiss Kiss lace tunic top, and this is funny because I bought this thinking it was super cute, and then like right after I posted it, I was on Instagram and saw a couple of fashion bloggers that I follow wearing this, which I didn't realize it was that recent of a piece, but so that was cool. I think that might have been why it sold so quickly. This sold in like less than 2 days. I had it listed at $60, and she offered me $48, which I thought was really reasonable. And then after the Poshmark fees, I was left with $38.40. So that got 5 stars and a love note, so can't complain about that. And again, sometimes when bloggers wear things, they tend to sell faster. I didn't even realize that was like a blogger favorite or anything, but it did sell really quickly. The next thing is a pair of new Zara cat silky trousers, and if you guys follow me on Instagram, you probably saw me talk about these because this is probably my favorite find ever. If these would have fit me, I totally would have kept them. I actually got 2 pairs of them, and they both sold for $35 within a week of each other, so it was about 4 or 5 days in between them. They were both a size large, and I got a couple of lower offers, and I decided to keep my price firm at $35 just because they were getting a lot of attention, and also there weren't a lot of other ones listed, and the comps seemed to be pretty good. So I had them listed at $40, and then both of my buyers agreed to $35 on them. So after the Poshmark fees, I was left with $28. So I did sell 2 pairs of those, which those were great, so I'm not even surprised by that. The next thing that sold is a pair of new Jack Rogers gold metallic sandals, and I would recommend picking up Jack Rogers as long as they're in good condition. They do sell really well, and they usually sell pretty quickly, especially like the flat sandals and things with the small wedge. They usually do really well for me and sell pretty quickly. These sold in about 4 or 5 days, and they sold for $50. I had them listed at $60, and they sold on best offer for $50, and then after the Poshmark fees, I was left with $40. Okay, the next item was a Goodwill find. This was the pair of Lululemon leggings, and they had a really cute like polka dot mesh panel at the bottom on the calf, And these I have listed for $50. I typically list Lululemon leggings between $45 and $55 depending on how much I think they'll sell for, and I think that Lululemon you can price a little bit higher. It does really well on Poshmark and it's really popular, so I tend to price between $45 and $55 regardless of the style, unless they're like brand new or they're like really in demand, then I'll price them a little bit higher than that. I listed these at $55, actually $50, and then she offered me $35. I thought that was fair. They were a Goodwill find, and I felt like my margin was good on them, so I went ahead and accepted her offer. These weren't anything that were like super desirable or super popular, so I felt like for a pretty basic standard Lululemon piece, $35 was fair, and then after the Poshmark fees, I was left with $28. The next thing was a pair of Rag & Bone jeans, and these actually sold for more than what I was expecting. I listed them at $95 because they were new with tags, and a buyer came in and asked for measurements, and I followed up with her and gave her the measurements on them, and she accepted my offer that I sent her of $85 with discounted shipping. Rag & Bone jeans I feel like are kind of going on the decline a little bit on the pricing, but they did sell for $85, and I did give her the measurements, so I feel like she was more confident that they would fit her, and I was really happy with that sale. I'm not gonna lie, I thought that they would probably sell for a little bit less than that, but I was happy with them. They were just a kind of like a light blue wash skinny jean, and I was happy with that sale. They sold in about 24 hours, so I was really happy with that. The next item is a pair of new Converse. These were pink suede and they had scallop detailing around the edges of the shoe. They were really, really cute. I actually kind of regret not picking up a few more pairs of these. These were a retail arbitrage find, and I found, I think, 4 or 5 pairs of them, and I only got one just because I wasn't sure how they would do. I really liked them, but I wanted to just kind of like test the waters. And these sold actually in 2 days for $50, and then after Poshmark fees I was left with $40. I had them listed at $60 and she offered me $50, which I thought was pretty fair for those, and again I thought those were super cute, so I was really excited to see someone else like them as much as I did. The next item was a Lululemon In-Stride jacket, and I had gotten this at Goodwill a while ago and I never got it listed, which sorry about that, but yeah, I did find this Lululemon jacket at Goodwill a while ago. I listed it for $65. She offered me $50, and I went ahead and accepted that. The In-Stride jacket seems to do pretty well for me, so I was excited by that sale. And again, at the end of the day, I'm really just looking for a good margin on my items, and as long as it's not something rare or something I'm willing to hold out on, I am pretty open to reasonable offers on my items, so I was happy with that. Alright, and then the very last item I'm going to share with you guys today was a pair of teaks, and this was my first ever time finding or selling teaks, which in the reselling community, teaks are all the rage, and if you can find teaks or Rothy's, that's like a great day for a reseller. But I did pay up for these. I actually got these at a consignment store in our area, and I felt like my margin was still going to be really good on them, so I was willing to pay up. And these sold in 2 days for $100, which I actually think I could have gotten a little bit more because they were in really good condition, but again, I was really happy with my margin. They sold for $100, and then after Poshmark fees, I was left with $80. So that is it for everything that sold in under a week. A lot of my stuff is starting to take between 2 and 3 weeks. I think because we're getting closer to fall, things are starting to pick up a little bit as far as selling a little bit quicker, but I will say over the summer things were sitting a little bit more for me, so I'm excited to see a few more things rolling in and selling really fast. So that's it for today's video. If you guys like this video, be sure to give this a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to my channel down below, and thank you again to No Issue for sponsoring this video. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.